It's a new season of Suicide Squad, which means a new character, new loot, new activities, and new skins to complain about. Wait, what? We got Arkham inspired skins? We can't moan anymore? Aw, man. In all seriousness though, there's lots to walk through, let's get cracking. But, you know the drill by now. If this guide is helpful, please be helpful to me and drop a like on the video, and if Suicide Squad content is of interest to you, or comic book games in general, I've got a few other projects in the works. Consider subscribing, I'd like you to stick around. Alright then, let's get stuck in. So, this season, From the Off works a little differently from Season of the Joker. Mrs. Freeze is unlocked before the Brainiac fight, and we only have 3 incursions unlocked from the get-go here. Mastery levels are not unlocked until you defeat Brainiac, so Season of Frozen Hearts begins with an introductory cutscene to Mrs. Freeze, and as guessed by many, the League is alive, and this season begins the path to rescuing them, starting with the Flash. To rescue the Flash, we're gonna need Mrs. Freeze. In yesterday's video, I did a tutorial for the fastest way of unlocking Mrs. Freeze. I'll link that in the description down below for the optimal way, but TLDR, killing time is the best way to go about it. To unlock Mrs. Freeze, we're gonna need to progress our episode levels to level 25, and to complete the 2 Watchtower incursions called Climate Change and Breaking the Ice. Once those 2 are completed and episode level 25 is reached, you'll gain access to the 6th and final incursion, Freeze Frame. Here, you complete the incursion as normal and retrieve Nora from Mrs. Freeze, prompting a new cutscene and adding Mrs. Freeze to your playable characters. If you're lucky, she may appear in your cutscene and not be invisible like she was in mine. Gave me the cold shoulder a little bit too literally. After this plays out, you'll have access to Mrs. Freeze, and man, I'm at Mastery 55 now, after playing solo Mrs. Freeze this season, and unfortunately as a character, she's the least interesting one to me, but playing her is sick. Her Iceman-like traversal alongside the different playstyles that she has, she's really, really good. Both an absolute unit, but able to get around quite quick as well. Anyway, build on that soon. Before you've got the ability to grind mastery levels though, we've still got another Brainiac to take out. To unlock this Mayhem mission, we need to reach episode level 30. Either a quick dive back into killing time, or run a few more incursions will do the trick. As with all Brainiac missions, you'll have a few sub-objectives to do, well, 2 anti-air guns this time, and then you're fighting the new Brainiac. This one is a mix and match of Flash and Superman, which, well, look, I'm on the record for not enjoying the boss fights in this game much, but I enjoyed this, but I also did it on the easiest difficulty possible just to get it over with. Anyway, Brainiac variant 616 is down, or whatever. Wrong comic book universe, it is what it is. After Brainiac's defeated, a cutscene will play beginning our journey of rescuing the League. After that, mastery levels open up and it's time to grind, baby. If you missed any episode changes that occurred with episode 2 of season 1, your highest available mastery level is the average of your 3 highest completing mastery level incursions and then plus 5. So once mastery levels are unlocked, you will immediately have access to mastery level 5 incursions. On top of that, all tiers of infamy loot, which in episode 1 is Killer Frost, is available from the get-go of mastery level 1. There's 5 master versions of gear, each master level just giving you high base stats, so no perk changes or anything like that. If it's a weapon, it's just increased damage. There's 6 incursions to play, though I stuck to the 2 grunt based ones killing 150 enemies, and then drop pod 1, since I do not like the mechanics of the Watchtower missions at all. So the aim of the game now is just have fun. Truthfully, now I know what to expect with seasons and Suicide Squad in general, I'm having more fun with the seasons. I typically play for a week when new content drops, and then I just come back for the new episode. Now incursions have buffs too, it's just a much more fun experience, and I still maintain that the moment-to-moment gameplay, when you're in it, it's a hell of a time. Especially when you see this cold build that I've cooked up, honestly, so good. Of course, it won't be another episode without the Riddler getting on our tits again. So, we've got new Riddler trophies to earn, riddles to scan throughout Metropolis, and there's 3 more time trials to unlock some colour swaps and Mrs. Freeze too. While we're on the topic of customization, there is a brand new battle pass which is inspired by Toyman outfits, which, it's okay. It's not for me, but I do think it's better than the Wayne Tech stuff from last season. The real juice for cosmetics though is the Arkham inspired skins for Harley, Deadshot, Joker and Mrs. Freeze. Also, the Ultimate versions come with some amazing colour swatches inspired by other Arkham characters like Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday. Anyway, I'll leave you at that. But yeah, those editions cost more. It's up to you if you want to get them. I haven't yet. Will I? I don't know. Maybe I'll get the Mrs. Freeze one since I just do not like her base design, and I've nearly earned enough Lufa coin from Battle Pass 1 anyway. Look, I'm rambling. Shut up. I just love Arkham, you know? God, what a great bunch of Batman games. Right, let's talk loot. Like I said, new season comes with some shiny new toys to play with. This time the Infamy set is inspired by Killer Frost. Once again, hats off to the weapons design team. Another brilliant set of DC inspired loot, and it continues to be extremely sick to me as a huge DC fan. On the Notorious front, we've got Firefly with an assault rifle, SMG and shotgun, Golden Glider with a pistol, sniper and heavy, Parasite with melee weapons and heatwave grenades. Parasite also has shields, Reverse Flash has got traversal, Golden Glider's got a neck bomb, and Philosopher's Lucky Charm. Killer Frost has the usual 3 tiers of Infamy loot, like I said, all obtainable from Mastery Level 1 onwards. Once again, defeating Brainiac will reward you with corrupted versions of some of these Notorious items. Increasing your Mastery level will grant you higher Mastery versions of these items. So far at Mastery 56, I just got my first Master 3 weapon, so there's that. Of course, all this new loot brings with it a boatload of new villain synergies to build your loadouts around. So far, I've actually been enjoying the risk and reward playstyle of some of these, or there's also the safer playstyle of what some others can bring. In terms of other stuff, Rocksteady have added a vault, which is called a stash, that you can now dump any unwanted inventory items into, which is just such a welcome addition to the game. So you got your 300 inventory items and 600 vault items, which is more than enough for right now, as far as I'm concerned anyway. Of course, this is only episode 1 of season 2. We'll likely see episode 2 in 6 to 8 weeks time, which will hopefully continue the story of us rescuing the League, give us more incursions and some more loot to get stuck into and build around. Usually in the past I've done guides and impressions in 2 separate videos, and look, I think I've just got a few thoughts now. Now that I know what seasons are in Suicide Squad and my expectations are accordingly set, I've enjoyed this season more than Season of Joker. We got a little more story, and even if it does feel like the main story has just been cut up into 4 seasons, I'm excited to see us reunite the League. I wish there was more dialogue and incursions, or something just to keep building and fleshing out the narrative outside of the 2-minute cutscenes that we get, or diving into audio logs. The loot is great so far, and I am having fun with Mrs. Freeze's build like I mentioned, and I do think that Harley and Joker mains will be cooking this season based around the loot that we've been getting, that's for sure. I wish the Watchtower missions were just a button press at any time to switch dimensions, and then I'd actually play them, rather than having to stare at some tower to switch them and just getting frustrated. And I'm delighted to finally have some fantastic skins in the game that just feel right, and they, the legacy of Rocksteady and the Arkham games. Look, these seasons, they function like Diablo seasons. You get new toys to play with, you maybe play as a different character, and you just take it as far as you want to take it. I know myself that Suicide Squad is practically done after these 4 seasons, but that doesn't mean I'm not looking forward to seeing where the story does actually go. These episodes, they're fine now that I've got my expectations set. I still love the gameplay, and Mrs. Freeze, again, highlights there are true wizards of Rocksteady. Her traversal, her animations, and just overall toolkit are top class. They really are. The incursions, boss fights, and endgame, it just shows that it was the right team for the wrong project in a co-op live service game. There's enough each episode for me to keep coming back, and I will, because the game, I still believe, it is a love letter to DC in its environments, its characters, its lore, and its weapons. And I love me some DC, so yeah, the season, it's fine, that's how it works, and now we wait to see what's next for this story. But that's a seasonal guide and a few thoughts on it. What are you thinking? Are you enjoying it more than Season of Joker? Is Mrs. Freeze your main for the season, or who else are you rocking? If you are rocking Mrs. Freeze, what do you think of her so far? Are you having as much fun as I am? Let's have a chat in the comments. As always, let's just keep it civil, yeah? Like I said, a build or 2 is in the works for episode 1, so for any Suicide Squad coverage or comic book game coverage in general, consider subscribing. I would love for you to stick around. As always, All my socials are linked in the description down below, so you can find me there if you have anything else for me. Other than that, I hope you have a terrific day, look after yourself, and I'll catch you next one.